Good morning, students. Welcome to social science class. We will continue with chapter that is constitutional design. So before starting the next topic that is Constitutional Assembly or Constituent Assembly of India, let's just recap what we have already done in this chapter. Okay, this chapter we have started with what is constitution. So you should know first what is constitution. It's a supreme law of that country. Okay, this is how the govern the how the government will work, what are the citizens' rights, all this will come under the constitution. Now, then we have also taken one topic which is not in our syllabus, that is democratic constitution of South Africa. Then we come with what is the need for this constitution, why we need the constitution. Yes, to create a good society, to limit the government, to check the government, and to specify how the government constitutes that. Even it generates a degree of trust and coordination from different people, diverse culture. So that all comes under the why we need the constitutions. After that, we have taken one more topic about the making of the Indian Constitution, in which we have seen that constitution making process for India was also not easy as it was for also with the South Africa. We have different problems. Yes, we don't have the racial discrimination at that time, but we have casteism. We have a very big and diverse country. Partition was one of the problems there, and we are shifting from a subject to a citizen status. So all this are some of the points which make the Indian constitution making a hard process, or it's not easy to make the Indian constitution during that time. But overall picture was clear about how our constitutions would be. Because during the India's national movement struggle, Nehru reports, or you can see any other reports, plus we also borrowed some, we also studied around 60 different constitutions of the world, and we almost came to know that this is what we are want in our country, and this can be good for our country, this can be implemented, and this is not good for our country, so we are taking that out of that system. So till this we have completed. I hope it is clear to you. Now the next topic is Constituent Assembly, or this is also known as Constitutional Assembly of India. Means how the constitution came into power, how it started, who started writing, and how who drafted that, and how that became the supreme law of this country. So, first of all, we should know what is a Constitution Assembly. Not about talking about India, anywhere. It's in America, it's in France. What is the definition of Constitution Assembly? So, basically, Constitution Assembly is a body or assembly of popularly elected representatives which is assembled for the purpose of drafting or adopting a constitution. Means a assembly of body, a legal body which is elected representatives, okay, whose main purpose is to do the drafting of the constitutions, to make constitutions, to write constitution, to discuss constitutions, to do the debate constitutions, to do the amendments. All those comes under the constitutional assembly. Okay, I hope it is clear to you what is constitutional assembly. So who then when who were the makers of this Indian constitutions? Okay, how we got the brief sketch of this, who played an important role in making the constitution. So we will discuss in this today's lecture. Now, the drafting of the document called the constitution, yes, was done by an assembly of elected representatives which are called as Constitutional Assembly. So this Constitutional Assembly of India was founded in, okay, in 6th of December 1946. So on 6th of December 1946 the Constitutional Assembly was founded. The first meeting was started in 9th December 1946. So don't be confused, there are two dates. आपको ये ध्यान रखना है that founded the foundation date is 6th of December 1946. Okay, the first meeting was on 3 days after this, and this Constitution Assembly was there for roughly you can say 3 to 4 years, and it disbanded on 24th January 1950. Okay, now the president of this Constitution Assembly was Rajendra Prasad, the from the Indian National Congress. So Rajendra Prasad, we all know he was the first president of India, but before that, he was also doing some other works like he was the President Assembly of Constitution Assembly. He was lawyer known for his role in Champaran Satyagraha. Okay, he was the three-time president of Congress. Okay, so he was a very prominent place in Indian National Congress, and he was elected as the president of this Constitution Assembly. Now, the chairman of drafting committee means who will prepare the draft, who will make that constitution, who will write that constitutions is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So, B.R. Ambedkar, we all know that he is famous for yes agitation against the caste division and caste-based inequalities. Okay, he also founded the Republican Party of India, and he was the chairman of drafting committee. So Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is also known as the father of the Indian Constitution. Okay, so he was one of the major leader for the Constitution Assembly. Now, when the Constitution Assembly was constituted in December 1946, that total seats at that time was around 389, which was there till June 1947. ऐसा क्या हुआ that after June 1947 the seats are just come up to 299. This is due to the country division, country participation, partition, which India is divided into two countries, India and Pakistan. So first, what was there that the Constitutional Assembly of India and Pakistan was a one assembly, around 389 seats till June 1947. After June 1947, so they have started, they have partitioned and they have their own constitutional assembly, and we have just come up to 299 members after June 1947 and Jan till Jan 1950. But okay, you just have to remember that the Constitutional Assembly that wrote the Indian Constitution has 299 members. Okay, this is for your knowledge. Now, this Constitution, it took around 3 years, if you want to be precise, 2 years, 11 months, and 17 days. So it took 3 years to draft this constitution. Okay. Now, what are some of the other points related to the constitution assemblies are that the assembly adopted the constitution on 26 November 1949, but it came into effect on 26 Jan 1950. It is very important, guys. हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनकर रेडी हो गया था 26 नवंबर 1949 को, बट हमने ये इफेक्ट में लाया 26 जनवरी 1950 को. दैट्स व्हाई वी सेलिब्रेट 26 जनवरी 1950 as the Republic Day. Okay, why? Because you have to go to in history, you will find that in 26 January 1930, the Jawaharlal Nehru celebrated the Independence Day. So, just to make that day a precious one to remember, also we have started that with the 26 January 1950. Now, you will see that Why should we accept the constitutions made by this assembly more than 50 years ago? Yes, why? We have already noted, yes, that the consensus was there, but in many countries you have seen that they have already rewrite their constitutions afresh because of their basic rules were not accepted by all the social groups and political parties. But it was not in the case of India. Here, overall, there was no large social group or political parties have even questioned the legitimacy of the constitution itself. Means almost all the parties are okay with the constitution. They were happy, and even they have also constituted in this. They have given the say in this, so we don't have any problem during the constitution. So this is one of the unusual achievements of our constitution because many countries faces that, and in some other countries like constitution exists as a mere piece of paper, so they are not following it, or they are just taking it, not actually following it, or they are just making it feel like a simple book. But this is not the case for India. Okay, now what was the situation that you have to see that the Constitution Assembly, which was elected during that time, was basically representing the people of India. So the Constitution Assembly, around 299 members, they are representing the whole India. But you have to be very careful here. They are representing India, but Assembly, there was no universal adult franchise at that time. What is universal adult franchise? Means there was no one value, one vote, and there was no, everyone have not the right to vote during that time. Okay, it was, yes, not there during that time. So the Constitution Assembly could only be chosen from those who were elected by the members of elected existing provisional legislatures at that time. Means the parliament of that time, okay, from provisional legislatures वहीं से ये सारे members जो हैं वो elect किए गए. But overall we know that all members are come from different backgrounds, they come from very different geographical areas, so they ultimately, yes, the assembly represented members from different language groups, caste, classes, religions, and occupations. So, yes, there was no universal franchise during that time, but it was elected mainly by the members of existing provisional legislatures, but this ensured a fair geographical share members from all the regions of the countries, and the assembly represent members from different language groups, caste, classes, religions, and occupations. So you can see that the Constitution Assembly, yes, it represents the people of India. Yes, some of the people still say that the assembly was dominated by the Indian National Congress, the party that led the Indian freedom struggle. Yes, that is true. But that party was the party which led the Indian struggle. So there are very high chances, yes, we know that the Congress ruled, uh, dominated the Indian politics till 1965 and after that also. So that was there, but that doesn't mean that it was only the Congress which made that constitutions. Many different parties, many members who were not the with the Congress, like B.R. Ambedkar, like Jaipal Singh, yes, they are from different parties. Okay, they are also taken the parts. They have the people which have different belonging from different, you can say, social groups. Like you will find Sham Prasad Mukherjee, okay, who was, you can say, the active in the Hindu Mahasabha. B.R. Ambedkar, who is the Republican founder of Republican Party of India. Yes, many others, many different, you can say, the Somnath Lahari, that is the leader of Communist Party of India. So they are people are from different parts. They are not means that they are only Congress in that system. But yes, the members have different ideologies. The members belong to different social groups, and they are also not from the Congress. Okay, so it's a mix of match, and several rounds of thorough discussions took place on the draft constitutions clause by clause. So first, some basic principles were decided and agreed upon. Then, a drafting committee chaired by B.R. Ambedkar prepared a draft constitution for discussions. You will find that several rounds of discussions took place in the draft constitutions, clause by clause. More than 2,000 amendments were considered. What is amendments? When you change that draft, you change that clause. So amendments that have taken place means that is all done during that time. In the debate, every document presented, every word spoken in the Constitution Assembly have recorded and preserved still time. You can find that in the form of Constitution Assembly debate printed in 12 bulky volumes. So everything which was debated during that time was recorded and still preserved. One by line, every clause was discussed and amendments were made. So this is what the countries, this is what the democratic countries is. You sit together, you do the consensus, you do the consultations, and then you do the amendments and come up with such a constitution that it will be good for all citizens of that country. Okay, so this was the situations. It took around, you can say, 114 days spread over 3 years, on which they have met, the Constitution Assembly have met and discussed the document. Okay, so these all debates shows that the meaning and the essence of the constitutions. So this was about the Constitution Assemblies. I hope it is clear to you. There are some uh, people who says yes, you will find that amendments is still going on, but overall the basic structure of constitution is still remains. Yes, we all have the same rights, fundamental rights are there. We have a preamble, we have equality, which we will discuss in our next video. But overall, the basic structure of Indian constitution, which was adopted during the 1950s, are still there. We have not changed that. That means our constitution maker were very intelligent persons. They were all future centric. They know that this time in future there will be a problem like this. So they have made the constitutions very, you can say, uh, friendly to the citizens of India, in which almost every section of the society, irrespective of their caste, irrespective of their religions, irrespective of their class, all concerns are taken in this constitution. Okay, now you will find that in this book there are some personalities mentioned like Vallabhbhai Jayabhai Patel, okay, who are parts of this Constitution Assemblies, which later they became also are functional as later government also. So Sardar Patel, also known as the Iron Man of India, born in Gujarat, is Minister of Home and Information and Broadcasting in the interim governments, the government which was made after the Britishers left, and the first general elections. So जो पहला लोकसभा का इलेक्शन था और जो जब अंग्रेज छोड़कर चले गए उसके बीच का जो टाइम था कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन टाइम के टाइम की हम बात करें तो जो उस टाइम की गवर्नमेंट थी उसमें ये मिनिस्टर ऑफ होम और इंफॉर्मेशन एंड ब्रॉडकास्टिंग मिनिस्टर थे. He was a lawyer by profession and leader of Bhartoli peasant satyagraha. Okay, played a decisive role. So he was, you can say, the uh, played a decisive role in the integration of Indian states. Yes, he made the India which we see now. Okay, so he break almost all the princely states together to join India. So that was the greatest achievement of this Mr. Patel. Later, he became the deputy PM. We all know that, and he died in 1950s. Okay, we have Abul Kalam Azad. Okay, he born in South Arabia. Educations, yes, authors and theologians. So, who is theologians? So, theologian basically is a person who engaged or is an expert of theology. What is theology? Theology क्या होता है? Theology का मतलब होता है study of God. Yes, the study of religious faith, practice, experiences, essentially God relations with the world. So he was one of the theologians, scholars in Arabics. He was a Congress leader, active in national movement also, opposed Muslim separatist politics. See, Abul Kalam Azad, he is a Muslim. He opposed the Muslim separatist politics. That is the beauty of the Congress during that time. Okay. Later, he was the education minister in the first Union cabinet. So he was a very important person during that time. So this till this we have T.T. Krishnamachari. So many others you will find in the books. Rajendra Prasad. Okay, here you will find Rajendra Prasad. Okay, then you have Jaipal Singh, a sportsperson, education, yes, captain of the first national hockey teams, former presidents of Adi president of Adivasi Mahasabha. So you see, he was not from the Congress, and he later founded the Jatra Jharkhand party. So all the people are not from the Congress, and they have different uh, policies and every ideologies also. Then we have G. Durgabai Deshmukh. So many of them were there. Okay, so you just read this all the figures, but you still have any doubt, you can contact me. Okay, so this was it. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we will start the guiding values of the Indian constitutions, and we will also try to take this all from personalities. Thank you so much.